'Tis the season to be jolly, or at least it would be if the killjoys of the politically correct brigade would wind in their self-righteous necks. But no, in the wake of the sexual harassment allegations, the PC Scrooges have decided to kill the Christmas party. Yep, the very unjoyful tidings from the TUC are that staff who misbehave at their Christmas bash could face the sack or jail. What's the point of a Christmas do if you can't whip off your top two? Or snog under the mistletoe, or photocopy your bum cheeks, or tell the boss he's a twit. But not having a Christmas party, or having one that feels like it's been policed by the Stasi, sends out a negative message that makes staff feel unappreciated and misses the point that they can help people bond and relax away from the office. It also assumes that all men, if they've had a glass or three of eggnog, can't be trusted not to grope or rape women, which is insulting and, frankly, not in the spirit of Christmas.
Well, first, Carole...
Before we go...
hats off to you for doing that in one take. Congratulations on that. Now, I think it was, for me, best summarised, and I'll come back to a very good point you made, with the Police Service of Northern Ireland tweeting a warning: if you bump into that special someone under the mistletoe tonight, remember that without consent it is rape. Hashtag season's greetings. Now, that is wrong on more levels than I can possibly imagine, not least to equate a kiss under the mistletoe akin to rape. Any victim of rape, just absurd. But you are right. And I know, Rachel, you're tackling this, so I won't steal any of your thunder whatsoever. But what this ultimately be is a snowflake generations that we are building. And quite candidly, before I throw it open to the rest of them, if I hadn't had a snog or a bit of fun at a Christmas party, I wouldn't have had most of the sexual activity of my life. And I wouldn't have met the person I'm with now, because I actually met her at a Christmas party, and that is true. Really? That is absolutely true. That's where I first spoke with her.
And did you snog her at the party?
No, but I gave her my phone number. And it wasn't a landline. But
the thing is, the Christmas party comes with guidelines now. You're not supposed to talk about your career. You're not supposed to talk about your salary. You're not supposed to talk about where you're going. And you have to comply with the Equality Act of 2010. Really? I mean, the TUC. Just let me do your quote from the TUC here. It says, "Many of us look forward to the traditional work Christmas parties, a chance to wind down and celebrate with colleagues. But workers and bosses should remember that they are still in a work setting. Nobody wants to do something that might get them sacked just before Christmas. Employers must be clear that they have a zero-tolerance attitude to sexual harassment."
What a drab,
bar
colourless
humbug
world.
TUC.
Drab, colourless world.
Absolutely.
No, it has changed, though, isn't it? I remember, as a young lad in television, the Christmas...
Christ, that's going back in time.
It is. This was Dickensian.
It's like a Christmas carol.
But I always remember there was one Christmas party, a couple ended up bonking on the... in one of...
lowered the tone so soon.
Well, I'm telling you, that's what happened. In one of the offices, and somebody walked in.
And they didn't get fired, did they?
No, the woman looked up and picked up the waste bin and put it over the bloke's head.
Hang on. That's what my girlfriend does. That's the only way I've ever... What's so strange there? I don't have sex any other way.
But, I mean, things used to be much wilder, I think, than they are now.
Yeah, but it's like, how are they going to police this? Are they going to have HR people standing with a notebook going, oh, yes, touched, bum touch, whatever?
No, but if you were running a company, to be fair, to be honest, if you were running a company today, given what's gone on, I think you would say to your managers, just behave.
But you know what it is? There's a thing called vicarious liability, which means that if an assault happens on, even if it's not on the work premises, if it's at a work do, employers are liable, which means they're not bothered about women's safety, they're bothered about losing money.
But what happens if you have a work to do and one of your lads or girls gets a bit drunk and then has a road accident or falls down a flight of stairs? Is that covered by vicarious liability?
It'd be interesting to find that out. I don't know, but it's
strangely silent.
No, I completely agree with you, Carole. I think the world is going mad in the sense that, of course, we have to deal with sexual harassment. Of course we do. And, of course, we have to deal with serious sexual assault. But we're beginning to conflate just the most ridiculous things at the moment. And I just think, actually... it's going to be interesting to see what Christmas parties are like this year. They're not going to be any fun because everybody's going to be petrified.
Should we tell the viewers that after we recorded this show, we're going to our Christmas party? I was really disappointed.
You can put that hat back on.
I'm never going to take that
wearing that hat.
But I thought, like we had the glitter ball one year, I thought we were going to have the mistletoe hanging above the pledge table. and just to check that we all behaving
Let's
properly.
just put it between Greg and Carole. I mean,
No, maybe we can kiss and make up at the party.
That could be rape.
Some things you can do. Yes, that might be accused of harassment.
That's how you could get rid of Greg,
No, but Greg, can I say something? I think the Christmas spirit is working because look at this. There's peace between you two, so something's working.
Well, that's only because we haven't said anything.
Yeah, exactly. We've only been on air about 5 minutes, haven't we? Give it time.
You're right.
I just do think you're right. And you know, as you said before, for the Northern Irish Police to equate a fumble under the mistletoe with rape demeans
rape.
Yeah. Can I give you some facts and figures? I actually ended up writing my column about this last week.
You did.
And there's a company in America called Vox Media who's issuing employees with 2 tickets. Each one can be redeemed for 1 alcoholic beverage.
Come on.
I mean, talk about killjoys.
But you know, the one thing you said, Nicole, let me quote you. You said here, a party can't be turned into a safe space where people have to ask permission to talk to each other or touch each other.
Men and women have been drinking alcohol together since the dawn of time, to no ill effects and to sometimes great results.
Yes.
Look at Nick finding his new missus.
Yes.
And as I said it, well, not yet.
Not till after Christmas.
I've seen that movie and I don't like the ending.
Have you not bought the ring for Christmas?
No, I haven't.
You're not getting down on one knee at Christmas.
Can I show you what one company's doing, a creative agency called Salad. They're based in Dorset, and what they've done is, instead of having a crazy Christmas party in the UK, instead they took all of their team for 2 nights away.
Oh, wow.
To Spain. Not bad going.
But do you know why that's good? Because vicarious liability probably doesn't apply there.
Of course. But then again, they're still in the EU, so maybe it does.
Oh, no, let's not go down. That's where we could start
But
now.
what I think that does, actually, is I don't think it changes anything, because it means everybody has hotel rooms. So actually, I think you kind of encourage it even more so.
Where did they go?
Spain.
Well, what goes on in Spain?
Stays in Spain.
Just to take the counter view.
Yes.
They do that, and one bloke, makes some approaches to someone. Later she's leaving or she's been fired or something. She'll claim sexual harassment. I mean, that's the problem. It has become quite serious, and that's why I think managements have to say to their managers, look, you can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
Do you think the old days will ever return? By which I don't mean men feeling happy to... but just where you can... You really think it's gone forever?
I think employers will be too concerned, as will managers, I think.
But all girls around the table must remember those parties where you knew who to dodge, and those men who would run around the parties with their wet lips trying to grab you.
There was always the one you'd fancied all year and you couldn't get close to, and the party was the perfect time to sidle up there after a couple of glasses of Prosecco. It was the thing to do. Amble over, see me approaching and me hat.
A couple of pints of snake bite in your case, actually. Not so much Prosecco, wasn't it? Absolutely honest about that.
Yeah, let's be honest, yes, that's true.
Mateus Rosé.
I love that, don't laugh at Mateus.
So have you all had your office parties? Have you had your office party at your radio station?
Yes, but I didn't go to it, I forgot about it. Have
you had your newspapers one yet?
I'm going to one. I did actually. I've had one, and I'm going to another tonight. A bit of a tart, as I am.
No, there's no party without a Johnson.
It's not a party until I've arrived there.
There you go.
Did it feel radically different?
No, it didn't. But it was quite a sedate affair.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it was sort of 6 to 9.
That comes with age, Rachel.
Yeah.
I am getting quite sedate.
It comes with age.
The pledge Christmas lunch.
I mean, it's not like being 25, is it?
Speaking of being sedate and not wanting to have nasty falls, we've got to move on.